Your mic
Yeah,
is
mic
open.
open, and I think we are live.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Have
So
you
we go
transitioned
through our,
across?
we're just going for the display capture now, aren't we? And transition. And there it is. It's not gone in the middle. I'm just scaling it.
Yeah, make sure it looks pretty.
Oh, mate, yeah, I know. I fixed it up before, but for some reason it's gone back again. Resize the output. It won't let me resize. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Two Crazy Guys and One Crazy.
Mate, yeah, you got to resize it because I just looked at the feed and
I
it's
know. I'm trying to.
no one's seeing nothing.
I know. I'm trying to. It's crazy. Right. All right, I'm just going to transition back, ladies and gentlemen, while we sort out some technical difficulties.
Oh dear, all good fun.
Let's go back over there. Yeah. Isn't that amazing? Right.
The joys of technology
I know.
and playing with new software.
It is indeed. It is indeed. Mr. Basel, it is not letting me resize. That option is grayed out.
Really?
Yep, totally grayed
out. Share your screen with me and let me have a look.
All
Sorry,
right,
folks. Just hold 5 and we'll see if we can sort this out.
Absolutely. Isn't that crazy? I'm trying to share.
So just go and have a cup of tea, folks. Relax, enjoy.
We'll be back eventually. You've got it, mate. And I've given you remote control again. I'll show you. Look, I'm on display capture. You see we can't see anything. Right click, resize output.
Right. Yeah, okay. That's that's not good. Display capture.
Is that funny?
That is really strange. Okay. And it's still not. Maybe if we can do it manually. You might be able to do it manually. So if you just keep resizing that down, you take back control because it's less latency for you to do it. Just hit that corner, hit that red corner.
In the meantime,
and
Mr.
just try and
I will bring my screen up as soon as I can. But in the meantime, why don't you start telling the more folk out there about the daily update?
Okay, I shall commence that. I'm just trying to bring up my screen, and it's browser. Okay, so today let's look at the market, shall we? So let's see what's going on. Look, we've actually had a bit of greenness in the last 24 hours, which is rather exciting, considering we've had a number of sort of steps down, shall we say. We had a nice little pullback. I think we hit about 35% total pullback since our high, and which was almost 14,000. But we sunk down under the 10,000 for a good day or so. US we're talking, of course. But Bitcoin has had a bit of a run last night, which is pretty exciting. If I look at the Bitcoin chart itself, in fact, yeah, wow, look at that. On the hourly chart, you can see this massive green candle here, which happened looks like dead on midnight our time. That is rather significant. That's a big jump. So it went from in that we had a low of 9,256 up to 10,327 in an hour, and then she just sort of kept on. Then she just kept on going. So that's quite interesting. It's had quite the jump. So. But even across the board, if we have a look across our top 10, we've got for the 24-hour period, Bitcoin up 8.34%. Ethereum's come up a little bit from up 5.25. Ripple's up 2.3. Litecoin's had a good jump, up almost 10%. Bitcoin Cash has come up 5.2. Binance Coin's risen 5.9. Tether would jump over that one. EOS is only up 3.6. Bitcoin SV still hanging into number 9 position, but has had a jump of 9.7%. And Stellar's up almost 8%. And Tron's just outside the top 10, and it's up almost 12%. So we still haven't quite regained our losses for the week. So from a weekly perspective, we're still down a little bit, but that's okay. That's okay. We've had a good pullback, and that was a significant jump last night. So it's going to be interesting to sort of see what sort of happens on that front. So, how are you going over there, Mr. Deal? Did you get the feed sorted?
I need you to share your screen, mate.
I can do that. I can actually do that.
I've got it adjusted as much as we're going to, ladies and gentlemen, for today. I've figured out what the issue is, and unfortunately, I can't adjust it without killing the feed. So
really?
I have
That's
made
right.
some adjustments, and hopefully you can see the feed now.
Oh, yes. No. I'm looking on the phone, and we're seeing our smiley faces.
Absolutely.
We will get this technology sorted soon, I'm sure.
We will.
The joys of using new software, right?
Oh, it's incredible.
But look, it was a good significant jump up last night. That's a hell of a jump. So that should definitely bring us back into continuing our uptrend as we like to look at it. So that's definitely some positive news. You didn't see the chart. I'll bring that one back. So this is the 4-hourly chart though, but you can see the green candle here.
Green candle.
Yeah. Well, we actually had 2 of them over the last 24 hours. So we had after we came up off the bottom. What was that yesterday? So that was yesterday. We hit a low down around just above the 9,000. So we basically got down to 9,000.
Yep.
Had a nice little jump off that, and then about midnight last night, she took off again. So so there you go. So that's definitely some positive news for the crypto space, which is good.
It makes for a good weekend if it continues today.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Although historically Sunday's always been a bad day for it, so we'll see what happens.
Sunday night, Monday morning, because that's obviously where the rest of the world's having their Sunday, and they usually go to sleep, and usually traders. The big one is the traders that usually take their money off the table.
Yep. To give it a rest for the weekend.
Yeah.
That money's very tired, ladies and gentlemen. It's been bouncing around everywhere, so they need to have rested.
Oh yes, they do. Poor little pedals. So, look, the other thing, I keep showing some of these warning signs of our economy and the markets, and the fact that there's so much rhetoric happening around the space, warning us that we're coming for another potential crash. And this is another article overnight that the Dow futures are plunging. And that's primarily because the earnings that these companies are showing are not meeting expectations and not meeting demand. And this falls in line with the story that we're getting across the globe, that the economy's slowing. It's slowing, and in some areas it's in negative territory. And so now that the futures are going down, it's a sign that the market itself is probably going to go as well. But we can't keep the system of money printing and debt and inflated share prices can't keep going. It's got that bubble's got to burst at some point. And why is this important to us? Because cryptos is an alternative asset, okay? And if you don't want to get caught up in the mess that is going to be the next financial crisis or whatever that is, cryptos provides a good hedge against that. I think it's a monetary system that is completely separated from our current financial system. So not tied and not manipulated the same way that the share markets and the other monetary systems are. That's not to say that it's not
but in
manipulated,
reality, there's many different ways you can
but
manipulate the
yeah, there is,
cryptocurrency
because it's
market.
such a small market, right?
And people have done it. Remember
So
back
big
when the
money
second
can
biggest
move it.
holder did it?
Yeah. Mm.
Remember that? So anyone who doesn't know, there was a guy out there whose name I absolutely cannot remember. He was the second biggest private holder of Bitcoin. And he came out during the boom and said, Bitcoin's dead. I'm going to get rid of all of my Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And he sold it. He sold over $1 billion worth of Bitcoin when it was way, way, way up here. Now, of course, this guy has just got the second biggest. This is just an example of how people can manipulate the market. And so everyone went, oh my God, he's saying cryptos or Bitcoin is dead. So everyone started selling. As soon as he sold his, everyone started selling. And the price, it was like skydiver. Right? It had 60 seconds before it was going to hit bottom. It just went down so fast, it was ridiculous.
Yep.
Now, he bought Bitcoin Cash with his $1 billion. Bitcoin Cash, everyone's saying, wow, he's into Bitcoin Cash. We better buy that. So Bitcoin Cash went through the roof while Bitcoin's going down.
Yeah.
Right? So see what's happening here.
That's right.
So once he got Bitcoin Cash way up here, guess what he did? He sold Bitcoin Cash and he bought the Bitcoin back because it was way down here. It wasn't dead at all. He made over $1 billion in 24 hours with that trade, with those couple of trades.
Yeah.
So they're the sorts of things. So
yeah, and that is the problem. While the market is small, it is open, and that's part of the reason why it is so volatile. Right? But that will change as more and more money flows into the system. The volatility will decrease.
And also because of what he did, there was a lot more scrutiny put around the market, and that sort of thing now it will get jumped on really quickly.
Yep. No, absolutely. There's so interestingly enough, we talked about some of the statements that Peter Schiff, who's a well-known financial spruiker, shall we say, in the US. Interesting enough, he jumped on his podcast the other day and he reckons that he calls the Bitcoin price to crash.
Good on
and it's, well, you know, as this article actually shows, I read it before, that they actually looked at the chart and they looked at the time that this was happening. So it said here that Schiff's YouTube Bitcoin Challenge, which was when he reckons he made the announcement, was held Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time in America. He said, by which time the cryptocurrency had already fallen below the 10,000 psychological level. So it basically says, Peter, you're
making stuff
full
up,
of shit, mate.
You're making stuff up.
And the crazy thing about this guy, he's like, and he is a gold bug. He's also saying that the economy is going to crash, and so we're aligned in those views. But he doesn't believe Bitcoin is a store of value or any or could be used for money or anything like that. But funnily enough, he's accepting Bitcoin as payment from people.
Oh, right? Is he really?
Yes. So it's like he's out there pushing gold because that's his industry is the gold industry. So he's pushing gold and telling everyone should buy gold. Everyone should buy gold. Blah blah blah. Pushing Bitcoin away, saying it's no good, you know, and the usual bullshit. It's no intrinsic value, rah rah rah. But meanwhile, he's accepting payments from people in Bitcoin.
Yeah,
so it's
like got no value. Yeah,
very hypocritical. Look, the other one I want to touch on today is again a word of warning. As we just talked about, was the fact that the crypto sector is quite immature and young, and unfortunately, if we go back to our Coin Checkup listing, there is currently 2,270 coins that this particular site has listed. There's actually somewhere over 4,000 coins that are out there. Now the problem is that at least 95% of them are what we call shit coins, right? they are just crap. They're scams, or they're just very inept bloody projects that you should not be investing in whatsoever. And interesting enough, there's this article here talks about some top projects that they reckon are dead, and in particular, and Bitcoin Cash heading up the
But
list.
Bitcoin Cash has had a resurgence of late.
Yeah, well, I think they're talking about the whole from the hard fork,
Yeah.
and now you got the Bitcoin Cash ABC and Bitcoin Cash SV, Satoshi's Vision.
Yeah.
That it's actually caused them a lot of problems, right? BitConnect, of course. Now, BitConnect was, one of the best Ponzi schemes out there. And have you seen that YouTube clip of the guy on the stage? And you got to watch it. It's just the funniest thing. I'll see if I
I'll
can.
put a link to it, ladies and gentlemen, in the show notes.
Yeah, it's the fun. He's up there and he's going crazy. He's going off about BitConnect and yelling out BitConnect, and it's crazy stuff, right?
Well, we do need to put a link in the show notes, because if we just tell people to search YouTube for the guy on the stage, it might take them a little while.
Oh, you reckon?
Yeah, just a little while.
So anyway, but that was the other thing I saw. They're releasing. There's a website out for BitConnect 2. They're going to try and relaunch it. Yes.
No.
So people, if you see anything with BitConnect, stay away, avoid, right? Don't touch. And then NEM. Now NEM is actually a project that I invested in right at the beginning. It's one of the first projects that I invested in outside of my core, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Dash, those sort of things.
Yeah.
And they showed some real promise, right? But there's been a lot of talk around mismanagement and especially of the funds and the cash that they had.
There's so much money pumped in so fast. People thought they were rich.
Absolutely. So you can see that it reached a high of $2.05, and NEM now. I don't even. Let's have a quick look. NEM. It is. It's down to 6 cents, 6.9 cents. Right?
No, mate, that's the same. That's no different than what was the one that I went into based on some advice I got from a person who will remain nameless. Enigma. Enigma's the same.
But that's a good project, my friend. That one's gonna go good.
I'm not saying it's good or bad, but I'm saying that it could be that NEM chart.
Yeah, well, look, all of the alts have. I mean, let's face it, all the alts. So Enigma's still 45 cents.
Yeah.
But NEM certainly has had a lot more money invested in it. And as I said, it showed some real promise, right? It had some really good wallet features and smart contracts. So that one, that was one that I probably didn't expect to fail, to be honest. Most of them I do, like 95% of them, like these ones here, Bitcoin Diamond, So there's all the others there, they're shit coins. But NEM surprised me. I thought that one of all of them really showed some promise. So it's a good warning, people. You really need to do your research. And to expect a lot of these will fail. There's no question about it. It's the same as things did in the dot-com boom, when where everyone would throw money at any tech company, and we hit. I think we hit about $7 trillion in during the dot-com boom, and most of those failed big time. But out of that, we've got the Amazons, the Facebooks, and Googles of the world.
Right.
And the same thing will happen here with cryptos, right? We'll get those handful of superstars that will emerge out of this, but 98% of them will just fall away. So, so that's why we're here. We're going to try and help you through that journey. And
remember, we're not offering financial advice. This is just a little bit of fun, and you take from it what you want.
It's information for you to do with what you please.
We do not consider your own personal financial circumstances or anything else like that. And apparently there's a whole blurb you got to say. But anyway, check with your accountant, check with your financial advisor. They'll tell you what those words are, and we're not them.
No, definitely not. All right. Well, I think, my friend, we had some hiccups at the beginning, but I think we
did, ladies and gentlemen. Technology, as you know, does get on top of us from time to time. But we actually did have this one set, so we're going to go back and we'll check what happened to the feed.
Yeah, we did.
Changed
over. That's the confusing thing. We had it all set before we went, and everything looked great.
You did. And then it went, "Whoa," just like me. But you might have noticed that my voice is a little bit better today because I am
It
actually
is.
getting better over this cameraman flu. Last night was not a very good night. We don't need to go into details, but by next week, when we have our next podcast on Monday morning, that we should be all set to go. I should be able to talk more and give Stacey a break. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful weekend. This is Two Crazy Guys, One Crazy Crypto World, bringing you your crazy crypto update.
Yeah, have a good one, guys.
Hey,
Have
guys.
fun and come and join us at Patreon too.
Absolutely. See ya.
All right, see you. Bye.